number 10 to be a professional educator is that teaching is a circle. To teach is to touch lives forever. Not only will your students benefit, but so will you, as well as your co-workers. Everyone learns from everyone else. And teaching is a progressive career. It allows you to focus on the future instead of what has happened in the past. Not to mention, teachers receive immediate gratification, like when their students succeed by getting A's on tests, and long-term gratification, like graduation.
The number 9 reason to become a teacher is the ability to help at-risk children. According to Provenzo, approximately 12 to 15% of the population falls within a special education category. This includes the learning disabled, mentally retarded, physically handicapped, speech or visually impaired, and deaf students. According to the U.S. Center of Disease Control, 16% or over 9 million children 6 to 19 years old are overweight or obese, a number that has tripled since 1980. In a national study done by Dr. Jim Hopper, during 2005, an estimated 899,000 children in the 50 United States, District of Columbia, and Puerto Rico were determined to be victims of abuse or neglect. More than one half of the victims were 7 years old or younger. About 42% of 4th graders score below basic and overall reading skill on the National Assessment of Educational Progress. According to safeyouth.org, a youth suicide prevention website, there were 300 suicide deaths for ages 10 to 14-year-olds in 2000. The rate has increased by 70% since 1981. According to the Alliance for Education June 2007 newsletter, for the class of 2006, 4 out of 10 students did not graduate high school. Nationally, 1/3 of students left school without a high school diploma, which translates to only about 70% of students graduating. Each year, about 1.23 million students in the United States do not graduate with their peers.
Reason number 8 to be a professional educator is impact. According to DESE, the average class size in Missouri is 26 students. In 20 years of teaching, a teacher at the elementary level will directly influence 520 students. That's 15 students shy of Congress. A teacher at the middle or secondary level might have 26 per class and 6 classes per year or semester-long cycle. 156 students per year times 20 years of teaching is 3,120 students. There are 100 future educators in this room. 100 times 3,120 is 31,200 students. That is 70% the capacity of Busch Stadium. Reason 7 to be a teacher, giving back. A teacher once taught you. Think about that favorite teacher for a moment. Who he or she was, what made him so patient, what made her so awesome. You could be that teacher to someone else. Teaching isn't about the money, though that isn't bad either. The better prepared and educated you are, the better all your rewards become. In Missouri, non-degree teachers' average salary is around $22,000 a year. Those with a bachelor's degree make roughly $31,000. Teachers who seek their master's see an average rise to $37,000. Those with advanced degrees are in good company. More than half of teachers, 57%, hold master's degrees and all have completed extensive coursework in learning theory and educational practice. Most find that teaching is a calling and a gift, which includes a love of children and an ability to engage them in the learning process.
Reason number 6 to be a teacher, to make good citizens. Because according to Provenzo, teaching and schooling is ultimately a political and social act, teachers have an important role in shaping and defining who we are as people. You could be teaching the future cure for cancer or the next kid to run for president. These citizens will soon make tremendous contributions to our society. According to Provenzo, it is our duty to help the citizen fulfill his obligations and duties as a neighbor and a member of the culture. Reason number 5, teaching is unique. A recent theory of learning which has been widely accepted in education communities stems from earlier work by Jean Piaget. His theory of constructivism describes learning as actively constructing one's own knowledge. This way, students bring their own ideas to the classroom along with prior experiences and beliefs to better understand how they learn new material. Because each child learns differently, the possibilities are endless. As a teacher, you can take your kids in nature to help them learn science. You can also use music in the classroom to talk about history and other aspects of our culture. Hands-on labs are beneficial for science activities as well as physical and music. Teaching is unique too in the sense that teachers are allowed to let their own personalities shine through. You can advise a club at your school or even coach your favorite sports team.
Reason number 4 to become a teacher is you can make a difference in students' lives. According to Provenzo, divorce rates have grown rapidly over the past 100 years. In his article, Divorce's Toll on Children, Carl Zinsmeister notes that children exposed to divorce are twice as likely to repeat a grade and 5 times likelier to be expelled or suspended from school. And a study by Judith Wallerstein found that in the middle-class sample, 13% of the students involved in divorce dropped out of school altogether. Divorce is just one example of the added pressure outside environment can play on students. Another common factor in poor grades is drug and alcohol abuse. In 2006, a study was conducted asking seniors whether they had used drugs or alcohol in the past month. On average, 45.3% of them said that they had used alcohol, and another 18.3% said that they had used marijuana. These children need support, and as educators, we are in a position to help them. A middle school teacher in Oakland, California, Gilbert Martinez, commented on his role as an educator. "If I talk to 100 kids and 99 don't listen, one will. That's who I'm here for." Education truly is about making a difference in even just one student's life.
Reason number 3 is cultural competence. More diverse teachers and more teachers that understand multiculturalism are needed to serve an increasingly diverse student body. In 2007 demographics from Columbia Public Schools, 16,648 students were enrolled. 832 were Asian, 3,676 African American, 627 Hispanic, 53 Indian, and 11,460 white. This translates to a 5% Asian, 22% African American, 4% Hispanic, effectively 0% Indian, and 69% white enrollment. In a class of 30, you would have 2 Asian students, 7 African Americans, 1 Hispanic Latino student, 1 Indian student, and 22 whites. You would also have 33 students in that room if you were counting along. Given the dramatic diversification that is currently underway in the United States, cultural competence may someday reach a status comparable to computer literacy. 25 years ago, computer skills were an isolated novelty. Today, it is difficult to compete successfully in any job market without them. The same may eventually be true of cultural competence in teaching.
The number 2 reason to become a teacher is that education is a stimulating career. The education profession is a constantly changing and exciting career. Each year brings new ideas and opportunities for educators. Immigration to the U.S. has created an extremely diverse and stimulating environment for educators. In the past, access to computers was limited, but today, almost every classroom is equipped with one. With the technological advances that have been made in the past years, educators have been able to utilize exciting new forms of technology, such as smartboards, to enhance their lesson plans. Who knows what the future might bring? Education is a process of continuous group discussion that enables people to acquire collective knowledge that they can use to change society. As citizens and educators, teachers are able to form groups with common interests to create social change. In Columbia, teachers and parents are fighting for the redistribution of the budget to get adequate funding for public.
And the number 1 reason to become a professional educator is
June, July,
and August.
Summer vacation!
Even if your salary isn't enough for a pool like this,
And even if you have to study while you sit beside it.
Even if your summer is more like this, at least you aren't stuck in a suit all day like your lawyer friends.
If you like pina coladas